All right, we're live on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. I'm here to answer your immigration questions. If you are stuck, maybe you filed your case already and stuck, maybe you're about to file, and maybe you've been wanting to file for so many years, and you're like, you know what? Let's do something this year. Let's do it. It's 2025. Happy New Year. Let's take care of business and get your legal status. Folks, my name is John Ting, and I'm your host with Immigration Problem Solvers here at Green Card Guys. Let's take care of business here. So, if you now look, if you're trying to deport your Pookie Bear, this is not the channel. Okay. If you want to report your ex, go to ice.gov. But other than that, we help you inbound, trying to get your legal status to live and work in America legally. Now, if you're new to the channel, then welcome. This is what we do. I share insights about immigration here in the United States. Mostly it's bad, a lot of immigration problems. So if you're going to take anything from this, even if you have 5 minutes, please stay on the channel or come on back later. Go ahead and click the follow button wherever it shows up when you have a moment. Watch my recorded videos because you'll notice it's not always a piece of cake. Okay, for some of y'all, maybe some of y'all already have green card, resident status, or now become a citizen. Maybe it was a piece of cake for you, and I'm happy for you. Okay, but for many others, even if it's only 10% of applications, you don't want to be one of those 10% that get denied. Okay, it's just not worth it. First of all, the government fees are a lot, right? It's a couple thousand for government fees, and they're happy to accept your government fees. Okay, so you got to get it done right. Got to get it done right. All right, see some questions here. You are welcome to join as a guest on the respective channels. I usually lately I haven't been going live on all these platforms because it's hard to be honest, it's a little bit hard to manage all the questions on on every single platform, but I will certainly try my best here. So if I am a bit slower and you're like, oh, John hasn't answered my question, there's probably a reason. Okay, so if I don't get to you in time, because I know probably all y'all at work like me, um, please click the follow button or subscribe so you can come on live next time and click the bell so you get that notification. I know they have all these steps. All right, so the first question I see on YouTube is from Nadia Chelsea Fan TV. What's up? I think I've seen your name pop up before. You've had your marriage interview in September. Everything went well, but no update or decision since then. What do you do next? You're based in Dallas. All right, I'm glad you had the interview, but yeah, you've been waiting for your decision, and it's what now, 3 to 4 months for you, Nadia. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. So we don't file lawsuits based on the timing from the interview necessarily, but we consider that and also the timing from the receipt date. Okay, because for example, a lot of people who may have had the interview or got the interview waived, but still didn't have a decision. It's been like really only 8 months, for example, since the receipt date. That's not unreasonable enough. Okay. So I know some of y'all filed like last month. You're like, where's my decision? That's a little too early. Okay. So when it's at least 15 months from the receipt date for 485 application, then we'll consider filing lawsuit. Okay. We need to again look at all the facts to verify for you. We're not one of one of the law firms that will say, without looking at your case, to say like, oh yeah, we can accept your case. No, we still have to make sure. Okay, for sure. So one of the best ways to do that is not necessarily on YouTube, or I mean on all these channels asking me to verify the whole thing, but you got to talk to one of my team members so you can get all the facts. Um, but oh snap, your receipt date is May 2022. Okay, well then that's pretty clear. We need to take action. Okay. And is your sponsor a citizen or a resident? Let's clarify that. This is like part of the follow questions that we would ask during a strategy session with you. But if anyone's interested in our services, obviously, first of all, no obligation. But if you're interested in our services, at least two things you need to do. Okay. One, since you're on the platform already on a live show, click on my bio, click the plus sign, then click the link. If you're on YouTube, then it's on Facebook, it's the description box below. You gotta click on that, fill out the short form, click on option one to speak to a client care specialist. And they're not attorneys, but I train them literally every day. They're probably tired of my training, but they do appreciate it so they can do the job correctly, right? You would appreciate that as well. So, okay, you said U.S. citizen. Um, yeah, okay, just making sure because if you enter with a visa, you're sponsored by U.S. citizen, then it waives any unlawful presence according to the USCIS policy manual, the law. So, good. Then you don't have an issue, other issues that I was thinking about. All right. Okay, so contact us. Okay. Now let's look at. Thank you so much for joining the show and asking questions. Appreciate your trust. Let's get to on TikTok. Chemin Bija. Sorry, I mispronounced. I'm gonna apologize in advance if I say your name incorrectly. Are there asylum shortlists for interview? If you're asking me if there's like a shortcut to is there a shortcut to or a quicker way to get an interview for asylum? No, not necessarily. I guess the quicker way is like if you had entered a country illegally and then got referred to court, then yeah, that's the quicker way. But no, in that sense. But otherwise, if you entered with a visa and obviously not caught by customs, picked up by customs in that sense, then you file what we call affirmatively through with USCIS, then it's you because of Trump's asylum policy, last in, first out, LIFO, I guess they call it, back in 2016, 2017. That kind of turned it made it difficult in a sense for a lot of people. So that's why a lot of people for asylum, if you have not had an interview, we do file lawsuits, mandamus lawsuit for that as well, after minimum 4 years of waiting. And knock on wood, we've been able to get the interview usually in about 2 to 3 months after we file a lawsuit for asylum. Okay. So if you do want to speed up the timing to get an interview, that's really the best way. Okay. Thank you so much for your questions. I will try my best to answer all of them. Let's go to the next question. Miguel on TikTok, you have an asylum case closed, 485 pending. Can you request a travel permit? Um, if it's based 131, if yeah, it's based on 485, then yes, you can file the I-131. And I think you do that online. Bucket list on TikTok user. What's the best reason to give for not filing taxes jointly? You don't have to give them a reason, but you do want to. If your case is based on marriage, then you do want to check mark married. But it's a tax reason if you want to file married filing jointly or married file separately. Typically, the situation I know, I'm not a tax person, not a tax lawyer. If you do need some accountant or CPA, let me know. We're happy to refer you. But it's typically because you file separately, even though married. As far as I know, it's maybe because you have a business and you want to file. Usually, businesses in America, at least the business owners I know, they typically file extension, so they don't file it until maybe like I think the extension deadline is like October of the following year. Um, but that would be the only reason I'm aware to file separately. So that let's say your spouse files their own earlier. Denise, is it safe to do AP with a DUI conviction? No, it's not safe, legally speaking. I don't recommend that. To get AOS for green card, you do should speak to a lawyer 101, of course. Share your documentation, your criminal paperwork, so we can verify. But just my gut so far, in that sense, is just no and verify 101 with attorney. This is what we call a strategy session. Okay, because you want to check the grounds of inadmissibility for coming back. Okay, let's see. Yanai Ruiz, what do I think about what happened to DACA recipients under Trump? Look, I didn't vote for this guy. Okay, I didn't vote for Trump. Okay, I don't want to give y'all false hope, but at the end of the day, I do want to give him some benefit of doubt that he's a deal maker. Like, for example, with TikTok. Apparently the oral arguments for TikTok was today at the Supreme Court. I don't think I don't know if they made an announcement. They usually don't do it that quickly, not the same day. Um, but I don't think TikTok has a good argument for the Supreme Court purposes. But who else would be able to save the day is Congress and the president, right? If I think it's pretty wild that this one individual, President Trump, has that much political sway to affect people's thinking, but decision making. But if there's any person to do it, it'd be Trump to talk to Congress and try to get them to do something. So again, I don't want to no false promises. I'm not in the political world. I thought about it a long time ago, but it's going to take a lot of convincing to the senators in House of Representatives. So we'll see. Um, because if President Trump wants to cement his legacy to doing good, like dude, he's got that opportunity this time around, and that would be pretty. It'd be pretty wild, but it'd be pretty crazy too at the same time. So again, he said he loves DACA holders, but we'll see. Okay. Miguel, you have asylum case admin closed. Okay, did I answer that? Okay, yeah, I think so. Oh, you said admin closed, so you mean through court. That's why you're asking specifically. Okay, so you could file it, but I don't know if they would deny it, actually, Miguel. Okay. So this is the best opportunity. Whether you file a travel permit or not, the 131, you need to try to get this is the time. Today's January 10th. Like we just overnighted a motion to terminate, to dismiss to the court. And we want to do that before President Trump tries to change something through the Attorney General's office. Because Attorney General of the United States has a legal authority to essentially change how the Department of Justice and Department of Justice, if you're confused, because I was confused during law school, like immigration court is tucked in under the authority of Department of Justice, which is kind of surprising, right? Which you would think these days. But so that meaning Attorney General has the power to change policies within the court, which is what happened during the first term presidency of Trump. So time is now, Miguel, and anyone else that has an immigration court case to try to get it dismissed, reopened, dismissed, depending on your situation. Brian, your case, you're a natural born citizen, and let's see, what's full comment here. Your wife is a green card from Philippines, and you have stepchildren with I-130 filed with USCIS. It's been close to a year for the children. Why is it taking so long? Who filed for it? Did you file for them? So it takes, if you file for them as a citizen and they're under 18 when you married their mom, then yeah, the petition by itself will take at least probably 12 months. Now, I don't want to go so far as say like this application should be like rubber stamped, like that easy per se. But I know lately I've been hearing about a lot of others like y'all in the community here that they've been asking for like DNA testing, things like that. And that might not be in your situation, but sometimes it takes longer because that's that scenario. So something to consider. Um, let's see. Sorry, multitasking. I need to ask a team member to do something. Someone asked, what exactly is asylum? Do you mean like what does it cover? That's an application if someone is fearful of the country or if they've actually been persecuted um, before from their home country of nationality. All right, how are y'all doing? Hope y'all have a great start to the year. Today is January 10th, Friday, January 10th. I'm here to answer your immigration questions, point you in the right direction, and share any insights, okay, with immigration. Okay, Yarith Adeline, Does getting married to a U.S. citizen in 2025 change any? Are there any change in rules or laws other than those married before 2025? No, no. There's no change in related to marriage for based on timing. Well, um, there's only a recent rule, but now has now been vacated. The program was the marriage PIP, pro in place for married folks, but that doesn't exist anymore. That's been vacated since November of last year. So unfortunately, so other than that, you can continue to apply as you would have. But I do want to say that for marriage cases or anyone applying for 485 other than like fiance visa applying for 485 application, you do need to provide the medical exam at the time that you're filing the 485 application. They don't they don't want you to send it in afterwards. They don't want the hassle as part of their workflow. Like the USCIS was trying to be nice for the past couple of years in that you can provide them the medical exam after you file, but it really doesn't make sense because yeah, it doesn't make sense to mail it off later. Like, why not just get it done all in one swoop? Like, I know medical exam clinics or those medical clinics may take like a week or so to turn around and provide you the results and put it in a sealed envelope, but it just makes sense for everyone involved, for you as the applicant and USCIS, that you file it with the 485. And that's one of the main reasons it's been slowing down on case decisions. If y'all are wondering, like, to be honest, like, get your act together. Like, if you don't, that's part of why hiring an attorney, like, for us is not. Some of y'all think like attorneys are just here for the paperwork, and like some of y'all think, oh, well, the paperwork's so easy. Yeah, filling your date of birth is easy. I mean, I would hope, but like, there's a lot of strategy to this. So, if y'all don't want to mess up with it, y'all don't want to any. You look at it, you're like, oh, well, it looks like you do it, but you're like, well, man, it's. I'm not here to tell you like, oh, hire us just because of Trump. No, don't don't make a decision because of that. Like, if you want peace of mind in general, then you should hire an attorney, and it doesn't have to be us at Green Card Guys. I have plenty of colleagues and friends across the country that do immigration as well. Um, so especially if y'all want an attorney like face to face, like in person at the office, I'm happy to refer you. Just ask. Plenty of people have done that before to ask, and we're happy to share. Let's see. But yeah, of course, we do accept clients that live anywhere in the world. Like my son was. Let's see, Jenny. Yeah, you can ask a question. If anyone has a question, you're welcome to just go ahead and ask. You don't have to ask me or tell me you have a question. Moral on TikTok. How long does it take USCIS to issue green card after receiving RFE asylum base? So I don't, there's no like timing to file or when they will USCIS respond to RFE, whether it's asylum case or 485 application adjustment status. But for us, fortunately, again, I can't promise you, oh, just because a case has an attorney on file that on record, oh, like that's the reason that USCIS responds quicker for us. I can't promise that because I don't know. But I would think that they, because we're organized in how we do respond to cases, that they're able to make a decision sooner. So that's a key difference, okay? Like within a couple weeks to a month, fortunately. Mom of 4 babies. Well, congrats to you for 4 babies. We really 2 is good enough for us. We good with 2. We took care of business and we're done with 2. Mom of 4 babies. Your question is, how do I know how long will it take for work permit and travel documents in 2025? I have no idea, to be honest, but I just go based on our case experience for those, and it could take about 6 months, okay, for the work permit and travel document. I would just say that's like the average timing for VAWA, because for VAWA, for some reason, it appears based on our data, we keep track of data with our own cases as well, that it does appear to take longer based on VAWA. I'm not sure why. Um, let's see. Thank you so much for your questions. Appreciate it. This is a great time to ask. If you don't mind, if you do appreciate the way I share responses, answers to y'all's questions, please consider tapping the screen and clicking on the like button wherever you see it on your platform. And again, if you just joined and you're wondering, well, how do I get in touch with you? Where's your office? We do have a physical office in Houston, Texas. If you live in Cali, first of all, for all those residents in California, I hope you're probably not on the live show, but because I heard people even near LA don't have internet. So if you have any family members in LA, I hope, or around that area in California, I hope they find a safe place and place to shelter and place to live. I just couldn't imagine, man. Like Houston has hurricanes, or not hurricane, but natural disasters too. So hopefully everyone's safe. Everyone that you know. Why did I even bring up California? Okay, well, if you live in California, y'all can come on down to Houston if you want to meet in the office. But in reality, we use Google Meet for meetings to make it easier for y'all. Okay, and so if you are interested in our service, you can click on. If you're on YouTube and Facebook, it'd be down below in the description boxes are LINK, or you go to our bio here or here and find a link in the middle below my picture. Okay, we have a couple different options there. And of course, if you want to speak to an attorney directly, one of our associates, that does come with a 3-digit fee. But if you're interested in our service already, that's option number one. That only right now for y'all on social media, there's a limited time offer. It only costs this much, less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, costs this much for limited time only to speak to verify that we can even accept your case. For most law firms, you got to pay 3 digits for that. They force you to talk to an attorney, where we still provide access to an attorney. Okay, let's see. Missy, your husband has I-130 was approved, but has expedited removal on his record. Ooh, what can be done? Well, essentially, any type of removal, excuse me, any type of removal is going to be difficult in order to adjust status. Okay, the default is that have to apply for a waiver, 601A at least. But the thing about removal is that if this person is not outside the United States already, if the person was outside the United States, you still need to apply for a waiver or wait 10 years. So, but if the spouse is still in America, then you need to try to consider reopening the case and get it dismissed. So, but of course, timing, right? Trump's about to be president, so he's likely going to take away that prosecutorial discretion, which didn't really work for people who had remove orders, unfortunately, um, for some reason. It didn't work for many people. Okay, so but anything related to removal orders, I do recommend speaking to one of our attorneys one-on-one. Hey, what's up, Leo? Okay, I realize. Thank you so much for your questions. Let's see. Any questions on Instagram? Y'all are quiet over there on Instagram. Jenny, if you're still on, you're welcome to ask your question. Erica, what can I say about immigrant with U.S. citizen child with IEP? Can you clarify what IEP is? Is that the entrepreneur parole? Is that what you're talking about? Uh, Bex. Oh, go back. Let me try to go back up here. Sorry, I try not to go out of order. I get a little thrown off because sometimes some of y'all copy and paste, which I can understand why. But try not to copy and paste like 10 times. Um, Zach, how long does I-130 take from Morocco? I-130s have nothing to do with the country of nationality, as far as I know so far. Okay. And now I-130s are all processed in America, so that's nothing to do about the country of nationality. It only matters about country of nationality when you're having to do the interview. Okay. The timing for the interview. But I-130s in general, if it's U.S. citizen, then let's see if I can show my background here. There you go. Oops, not cats. It wasn't supposed to be that. What in the world? That's embarrassing. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here's I-130. I have a background showing the dates or the timing on TikTok. So it's not actually 15.5 months now. Petition for immediate relative category is 16 months right now. Now, whatever it shows online at uscs.gov, it's not always accurate. You actually might get less time. But it is also possible to have your case be processing for more time than it shows on the chart here. But whatever it shows, it also doesn't necessarily mean that you need to wait that amount of time in order to file a mandamus lawsuit. Every application is different. Our, what do you say, like our own chart that I speak with my colleagues, my friends about mandamus lawsuits, it all is different depending on the case. Mhm. I should have done a screenshot when I put up the cats up there. That was wild. There's a lot of cats in the background. Okay, Johnny G, you said the TPS program got extended for Morocco. Let me check that out. I'm sorry, not Morocco. That was the other person. TPS Venezuela. Okay, great. Yeah, good timing because new president is coming in. So yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, that was today. There's just so much to track. I mean, I did not think that I did not anticipate that joining the immigration practice or as my primary law firm, there'd be news like literally every day about immigration. There's just so much to keep track of. Yeah, so that's valid for another 18 months. All right, wonderful. Glad to hear it. Thank you so much, Johnny. Angelino, 1994. Do you have to renew your DACA after obtaining your green card? No, you don't. After you get a green card, you're good. You don't have to renew DACA. You would have no reason to renew DACA. I would only suggest to people to continue to renew DACA, especially if you're intent to go through the waiver process, the 601A, because applying for 601A does not include the ability to apply for a work permit by itself. You know what? Probably need to record a video about that. Let me write that down too. I need to create a chart of what situations, scenarios able to apply for EAD. Okay. Let me see here. I need to. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your patience there. AG, can someone apply? I'm talking about AG on YouTube. Can someone who came in 2006 now has TPS and asylum final denial ask employer to do H-1B or EB-3? You could do that. It's different scenario based on either of those situations, but look, you can still do the H-1B. I would still have a company still try to sponsor you for H-1B because if anything, that can possibly, if you get approved for that, or well, first of all, it's a lottery system to get selected from the registration in March. Okay, March of every year is the only time period to get registered, and that's only step number one. That doesn't mean if you get selected from the registration, that's just one mini step. That allows you opportunity to get sponsored or to have your company apply for you, the whole package. The registration is not a package, but the EB-3, so the H-1B, that help you stop the unlawful presence of assets, right? Because you already have now you're accruing, well, now you have 2PS, but and the EB-3, um, you may have more, well, 2016 is when you came in, so you would have more than 365 days, possibly, of unlawful presence. Maybe you haven't because maybe you applied for asylum as soon as you got to America. But I don't know your situation, but um, everyone's situation a bit different. So, but EB-3, yeah, company can sponsor you, but ultimately you have to be eligible for a waiver, a 601A waiver. Um, so something that's a situation scenario that I do recommend to speak to one of our attorneys 101 in a strategy session. Okay. Oh, you applied for asylum as soon as you got to US? Okay. Well, I don't. Well, the other scenario where you might be accruing unlawful presence, I'm inferring that you had TPS and still have TPS even when your asylum application got denied. So maybe you don't have any, or maybe you have very limited unlawful presence days actually. So that'd be good. But you especially, yeah, we just had a company sign up with us yesterday for like five people. So we're gonna get five of their potential employees registered for H-1B. Uh, um, hey, what's up, UX? Good to see you from UK. Thanks for the follow. The that's kind of like a webinar topic. I can talk so much about that, but thank you for the question. Okay, I'm going to look on TikTok right now. Abdullah F10, you're on a student visa, you're graduate student. Can you open LLC and sponsor yourself? So you can, like, a person can create an LLC, and as far as I know, at least in Texas, but that's where I'm at, you don't need to show your legal status. Now you're wondering because your F1 generally states you cannot work on F1, right? Like you can apply for a work permit separately, that's tied to an employer. So, but yeah, in general, you can get self-sponsored. You can sponsor yourself if this national interest waiver, um, or another way. But yeah, it depends if you're eligible based on executive or manager. There's a lot of rules to it, not just simply executive or manager. Um, so again, that's a situation. Another situation: a strategy session with attorney or a webinar. We do the webinars for free. It's just like about once every 2 weeks. So you have to fill out our form on the link wherever it shows up, and then you gotta click on my bio first, and then click on webinar. There's a drop down menu of what type of topic you could be interested in, and then we'll email you whenever that topic comes up and ready for us to host that webinar, which is outside these platforms. Okay. Let's see. Thank you so much for your questions. Your husband came in with fiancé visa and currently waiting for the green card. Should you be worried? Why would you be worried? Do you have a specific situation related to that? Oh, wait, I missed the traffic ticket question. Darwin Contreras, does a traffic ticket make a person not ineligible for TPS? No. The type of crime that would make people for sure not eligible is a crime for TPS, is a crime involving moral turpitude. If you want to Google search it, you can type in CIMT to learn more about it. And my website probably has an article about it. Uh, which I probably should record a video about that too. Man, I have a long freaking list. Thank you so much for your questions. Man, this is like a full-time job. Oops, I was supposed to have a meeting right now. But I'm answering those questions. Okay, so I'll stay on. I'll let my team know that I'll stay on until 1:15. That's another 4 minutes. So in the meantime, go ahead and subscribe or follow. Click the plus on our respective channel and click the bell so you get the notification next time I go live. Um, why am I not answering a question? I didn't see your question, buddy. Okay, let me make things clear. For anyone new to the platforms, to my channel, first, thank you for joining. But I'm on multiple platforms, yo. And number three, this is free, okay? Like, I answer the question I want to answer, but I try my best to go first, whoever's first. But here's the deal. The other thing is like heavy lock. I don't see your question. Now I do. The thing is, heavy lock or anyone on Instagram, y'all gotta talk to Meta. See, like, look, I swipe something, look what's going on. It's got this random space thing. You know what I mean? So I don't even know how to get rid of it. There we go. That was ridiculous. Can you apply for RTD? I don't even know what RTD is. Right. You mean motion to reopen? Motion to reopen after you got asylum approval? I don't know what you're asking. RTD. Oh, that was a waste. I wish I could have answered that question. Let's see. I mean, y'all gotta be a bit more appreciative here, man. Come on now. Kashab, thank you. Asking me how I'm doing today. How are you? I'm doing good. Thank you very much. But I'm always happy to answer all those questions. Just go ahead and ask. You don't have to tell me you got a question. All right. Because by the time I look again, it might be like another 15 minutes, considering all the platforms we got here. Like, look, I literally had to swallow my head like 3 different times here, or angles. UX, you want to know about EB2 NIW. So UX, if anyone has a question about like a specific topic, but it's just kind of a broad question, like the steps and all that, that's a webinar. Okay, not on the social media. Click on my link and click, I think, option 3 or 4 for webinar, and that's free. We don't charge you for that. We're all about education here. That's why I'm on the platform live almost every day. Okay. Josh Karan, you said, sir, people on appeal can also be deported. Yes, they can, but your attorney, or I guess you could try yourself, needs to file a motion, stay of removal, essentially. Stay of removal. Okay, so the ICE agents know about that. UX, you got to click on gotta go up here, I think. At least on my screen, it shows my profile right here. I think you click on that. It's a bit more difficult on Instagram, I think, to find it. Click there. Basically, wherever it shows and then pops up my profile picture, and there's a link like right here. Okay, that's TikTok and Instagram. On YouTube and Facebook is down below in the description box. Thank you for asking. Missy, he has no criminal record or nothing on the record. You've been married for 5 years. This happened 8 years ago. Okay, I think your question was about the expedite removal. Or you're gonna have to ask your Pookie Bear what happened. Like, why did you get expedited removal? Sometimes that happens at the airport or at the border. But like, what led up to that situation? Like, did he come in and out a couple times, and that's how customs know? Amelia 1212. How long does VAWA take? Generally about 3 years, 36 months. Even when the abuser is perpetrator is a U.S. citizen. Kenny G or Kinney G. You have a green card for 4 years, excuse me, and you want to naturalize to become a U.S. citizen, then yeah, it could be 4 years and 9 months as the earliest that you can file of resident when having 4 years and 9 months of resident status. Okay. Thank you so much for all your questions. Can you change your visa status to EB2 NIW? No. So here's the thing. Here's a general response to that question. UX from the UK asked on Instagram, can someone who has a visitor visa change status to an EB? And so anything EB related is a green card pathway, okay, residency pathway. So you can't go from national interest non-immigrant visa to change status to any EB. And that's number one. That's because the visitor visa is a visitor visa that's only maximum 6 months, and customs don't have to give you 6 months. And so this question, I'm inferring that this person UX is here in the United States, right? But you can change from one non-immigrant visa status to another non-immigrant visa status. That is what I recommend. And so, if for that reason, because of timing, limited timing, and everything to change status, you probably need to consult with one of our attorneys quickly, ASAP. And again, I think that is option number 2 in my LINK. Really to determine if you're eligible for another non-immigrant visa. Let's see. Maria, what do you do if you forgot your port of entry? Was it illegal entry? Is that why you forgot? Because if it's legal entry, then maybe it's in the CBP website for I-94. Okay, that shows if you had a passport in, okay, because that would pop up the search results that way. Sometimes it doesn't result in anything, but most of the time it does for people we check. Let's see. By the way, if I'm not able to answer your question, which is most likely not able to answer everyone, um, you know what? You can DM us. You can go to my LINK, my bio, click on the LINK and schedule a meeting with our team. Or you can email, click on that. And then if you don't want to schedule a meeting, that's all good. You can email us, dependent question. If not myself, then one of our team members can respond to you probably in a video. Sometimes video like this is easier to give you, but sometimes hard to answer your question, to be honest, if we don't have enough information. Or if we believe it could be a bit more complex or easier to explain, like in a meeting one-on-one, then we'll invite you to do that. Okay, let's see. You're a permanent resident, but found out you were accidentally registered to vote. But and you want to apply for citizenship. Okay, well, wonderful that you want to apply to become a citizen, but yeah, accidentally registered to vote. I suspect that that could have been through when you're renewing or applying for your driver license, wasn't it? Because we've known people, we've had clients in a very similar scenario that happened, and I don't know why. Like the one client I can recall right now that had a similar situation, like the dude didn't want to, like, was interested to vote, right? But the Department of Public Safety clerk, like at the window, asked, "Hey, do you want to register to vote?" And I don't know if I like that's a government office, so you're probably thinking, oh, like if they're telling me I can register to vote, like that you can register because they're asking, right? But those people don't generally know anything about your immigration status. And even if they did, they're not a lawyer. So although it might be reasonable to you for a person to have assumed that that could be okay to register to vote, I'm going to tell you right now that you're on the live show, I'm going to tell you right now, if Governor Abbott of Texas did not make it clear already, only U.S. citizens can register to vote and actually vote. Okay, so again, I'm not here to give y'all a hard time. I'm here to educate and share more information. But yes, it is still possible to become a U.S. citizen even if you register to vote. So of course, we would need to write your story, your affidavit. We'll clean it up so that organize it so that USCIS officer, whoever's going to eventually review it, can understand your situation better. Because especially if you just say, like, you check mark, yeah, register to vote, and you're just hoping to be able to explain it at the interview only, that's not a good idea. You want to give the officer who's going to review the application beforehand a pretty good idea of your situation before the interview. That would save a lot of time. Otherwise, they're going to come in accusatory, right? Like, what do you expect? So, kind of give you an idea in terms of preparing your package when you're applying. Thank you so much for your questions. Um, Thank you so much. If there's any way that I could save you, literally, like, it's all good. I know there's many of y'all in the community here at Green Card Guys. I'm very thankful for y'all. Um, if um, if I could save y'all from a problem with immigration, I'm happy. Just let me know. Come back to the channel, let me know. So if you don't mind, go ahead and click follow wherever it pops up for you. Greatly appreciate YouTubers and Facebookers. Subscribe down below. Go ahead and tap the screen 10 times before I peace out because I got to go train my team. So there's only so many things I can do in a day. So thank you so much. I'm going to be more consistent on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, TikTok. You know me. I'm already consistent with y'all lately. So I appreciate it. Y'all have a good day. Peace. Do, do, do.